Good day everyone, my name is John Lloyd D. Francisco. So for today's lesson, it's all about the other Nantes instrument. The other Nantes instrument, so the teacher assesses students to discover how well they understand the information taught and determine how much growth they are making in developing their academic skills. Testing is a common assessment techniques, but it is far from the only assessment option at teachers' disposal. So by assessing through alternative means, teacher can ensure that the test anxiety or inability to perform on tests do not lead to misunderstanding of students' ability. So yun yung introduction ng other Nantes instrument. So now let's proceed to our topic talaga, which is itong apat na mga contents at yung introduction ng other Nantes instruments. So contents, we have other Nantes instruments, observation report, guidelines for practice, observation process. Number 1, other non-test instrument. So sa other non-test instrument, we have anecdotal records, observation checklist. Anecdotal records is a written record kept in a positive tone of child's progress based on milestone particular to that child's social, emotional, physical, aesthetic, and cognitive development. So itong anecdotal record is a written record or descriptive written records. Keep in a positive tone that yung purpose dito is mere-record natin yung overall performance ng bata in terms of their behavior, yung characteristic, yung character na pinapakita na sa school, yung holistic development ng isang bata, yung aspect nila as learners. So, the teacher observe and then record the child's action throughout the day while activities are occurring. So, yung pagre-record ng teacher dito, o ito yung means ng anecdotal record is through informal way. Informal yung pagre-record kasi meaning to say, every actions na gagawin ng estudyante niya or every task, activities na pinapagawa sa kanya over a period of time is nare-record. So nakadepende na yun sa teacher kung paano niya i-re-record yun through by means of their gagamiting techniques and strategies para maintindihan at magkaroon ng systematic record doon sa performance ng bata. So it is done only when appropriate, is not forced. In fact, there are maybe days between entries. So hindi nag-range ng katagal or tagal ng pag-record ng teacher doon sa kanyang mga estudyante. Meron talagang days, weeks ang bawat pagre-record nila. So, anecdotal record is a written description of the observation made of students. It may be recorded as a running account of what child say and thus running a particular period of time, or as a record of significant incident. So, although there are no fixed rule for anecdotal record taking. So, wala talagang specific guidelines, specific directions, rules na ginagamit sa pagkakaroon ng anecdotal records na ito. So, nasa teacher na kung paano niya i-assess, paano niya i-evaluate at ano yung mga approaches na gagamitin niya para magiging effective yung pagre-record at ma-comply niya lahat yung mga requirements or yung kanyang specific objective throughout that particular lesson. So, there are the following suggestions that may help full for you as a teacher. So letter A, observing and recording should not interfere with communication with children. So their immediate needs take priority. So yung pag-observe natin as a teacher, hindi dapat nakahadlang yung communication natin sa mga bata. Dapat meron tayong mga immediate options and dapat mag-take rin tayo ng mga priorities na mas matutukan natin yung mga every students one at a time. So letter B, recording should be dated. Ito yung pinaka-importante rin na dapat sa pagre-record natin ng mga assessments, performances is meron talagang date na naka-indicate doon sa specific task na yun. Letter C, all students in class should be observed alphabetically rather than the teacher focusing on student with special needs or abilities. So hindi lang talaga nakafocus yung teacher doon sa pag-observe ng mga estudyante niya ng isa, but dapat lahat ma-observe niya. So nasa teacher na rin kung paano niya gagamitin yung kanyang skills, yung experience niya, yung knowledge and yung capabilities niya as a guro na ma-observe niya lahat yung mga estudyante niya by means of their skills at yung kanyang knowledge na nalalaman. So letter D, focus observation should be limited to the few children daily or weekly. So yung pag-observe natin as a teacher doon sa mga estudyante is hindi lang nakatutok sa isa. Dapat lahat matutukan. May either mag-set tayo ng day or week na iba-iba naman ng mga estudyante. So letter E, each children or each child should be observed in a variety of situation. Example, arrival, dismissal, free time, pre-play, teacher-directed activities. So, yung pag-observe natin is nakadepende doon sa mga situations na na-experience natin. Next, we have letter F. Record should be factual and not be exclude personal reaction and interpretations. So, the teacher should make, so ito nang next. The teacher make notes brief using abbreviation and blanks. And then, if necessary, fill in the details after the children have left. So, itong dalawa yung letter F at letter G, which is dapat yung pagre-record natin o yung pag-observe natin sa performance ng bata is hindi tayo mag-judge as subjectively na nakikita lang ng ating mata, kundi dapat i-observe talaga natin kung ano yung overall performance ng bata by means of na-express niya yung kanyang sarili, yung kanyang at napakita niya rin yung kanyang kakayahan as a individual. So, as a teacher, sa pag-record na, dapat magamit tayo ng mga different approach techniques na para mas mapadali yung pag-record at pag-fill in natin ng mga details ng bawat estudyante. Letter H, the child being observed not be compared with others. So ito yung pinaka-importante rin na hindi natin i-compare yung other learners, other students sa kapwa niya estudyante kasi nga every individual has a unique characteristic, unique attitude, behavior, and knowledge and understanding at yung capabilities nila as an individual na ma-express nila yung kanilang sarili. So iba-iba. Huwag natin i-compare yung isa sa isa't isa or i-compare yung isa sa isa. Letter I, students should be aware of the purpose of observation and recording and recording. So since awareness is the first step towards self-assessment. So yung awareness dapat na maipakita natin na dapat alam ng mga estudyante natin na nagre-record tayo to the purpose na sa kanilang nalalaman o yung kanilang learning. So nagkakaroon tayo dito ng feedback na tinatawag. Dapat alam din nila kung ano yung nire-record natin. Letter J, adhesive, back paper, scrap paper, or index card, and pencil could be planted around the room and carried with the observer as much as possible so that they are readily available for recording noteworthy experiences. So dito dapat meron tayong mga materials or something na magpasok tayo dun sa room or pupunta na tayo dun sa school. Yes, meron na tayong mga materials na ready to use and available para to record the performance of the students. Meron tayong mga materials talaga dapat prepared na. Letter K, anecdotal comments could be recorded on adhesive back paper. So, at the end of the week or day of the week, so nakadepende yan sa mga teacher or sa teachers kung paano niya i-record yung performance ng bata at yung learning. So, the recorded information could be transferred each student's file. So, yun na. And the chart could be reused the following week. So letter L, notes should be organized in systematic fashion. Like for example, yung files folder, notebooks, electronic data files. So the pattern of development of childs become obvious if consistent records are maintained. So dapat ipa-practice talaga natin na yung pag-organize systematically yung mga data na nagagather natin sa mga estudyante natin. Meron talaga tayong set of specific files, folders, notebook intended only sa mga estudyante natin. Hindi na magkalo-halo lahat. Dapat organized lang, systematically. Next, we have observation checklist. The observation checklist is a listing of specific concepts, skills, processes, or attitude. It is designed to allow the observer to quickly record the presence or absence of specific qualities or understanding. So dito sa first stanza ng first statement ng observation checklist, from the word observation, so very naman siya, 'di ba? Very self-explanatory. I-observe mo yung performance ng bata by means of merong kang talaan or yung checklist, which is nakalagay doon yung mga specific objective mo, specific concepts mo, ano yung mga gusto mong ma-achieve at the end of the lesson. So ito yung way or special design talaga ito siya na ma-allow yung the observer na mas madali natin ma-record yung mga absence or presence of the specific qualities and understanding natin doon sa mga estudyante. So if the observation checklist is used relatively frequently and over the time, a longitudinal profile is assembled. So dito naman, the observation checklist is most appropriate used in the situation where teacher wish to record information on explicit student behavior, abilities, processes, attitude, and performances. So yun na talaga yung point lang ng observation checklist, na ma-record lahat ng performance ng estudyante niya in terms of their behavior, abilities, yung attitudes, ano yung natutunan ng bata sa pagbibigay mo ng summative or formative assessment, at marami pang iba. So for example, it can help to assess communication skills, cooperative learning skills, extent of participation, and motor skills. So yun. Ito yung mga example na pwedeng makatulong itong observation checklist sa pag-develop ng communication skills, yung cooperative learning skills, at extent of participation and motor skills. Kasi nga, at the end of the lesson, 'di ba, magkakaroon ng feedback. So, kung ano yung na-observe ng teacher doon sa kanyang mga estudyante is yun yung magiging basis niya na, at masasabihan niya rin yung mga estudyante niya na ito yung kailangan nyong i-improve para sa susunod na mga activity and task na ibibigay ng teacher is mas mag-i-improve na sila in terms of their skills, abilities, o yung capabilities nila as a person. So, some suggestion for using observation checklist as follows. Letter A, observing and recording should not interfere with communication with children and their immediate needs take priority. So, yun na-explain na rin dun kanina sa anecdotal records na same din sila na dapat magkaroon din tayo ng immediate needs take priority dun sa mga estudyante natin. Letter B, entries should be dated. So, yun talaga, dapat nakalagay always or naka-indicate always yung date na pagre-record mo. Letter C, all students should be observed in turn rather than focusing only with those special needs or abilities. So, yun na. Hindi lang tayo magpo-focus sa isang estudyante, dapat lahat ma-observe natin. Letter D, observation should be limited to few children daily or weekly. So ganun din, dapat yung observation natin hindi lang maglalas doon sa isang estudyante. Dapat lahat is merong priority na dapat lahat ma-observe. Letter E, students should be made aware to purpose of observation and recording since awareness is the first step towards self-assessment. Dito is hindi lang ikaw na teacher yung aware sa mga ginagawa mong mga tasks or tasks sa sarili mo na you are nagre-record ka. So dapat alam din ng mga estudyante mo para ma-develop din na yung kanilang sarili na kung ano yung mga kakulangan nila at ano yung mga weaknesses nila or strength nila na pwede nilang ma-develop. Letter F, checklist should be organized in systematic fashion. File folders, binder, electronic data files. The pattern of development of each child become obvious if consistent record are maintained. So yun na, explain ko na rin kanina is sinan din sila ng anecdotal but yun lang yung point doon na dapat yung pagkakaroon natin ng observation checklist o yung observation report natin is dapat systematic yung ng mga data at pag-gather ng data, dapat systematic yun. At dapat consistent din. Letter G, checklist should be based on foundational and learning objective of the curriculum. So dito na, dapat yung checklist o yung talaan natin na pag-observe natin dun sa performance ng bata is nakabase talaga dun sa foundation at learning objective ng curriculum na binigay ng school. So yun. Letter H, the format should be designed so that could be used to discuss student progress during conferences with student and parents caregivers. So yun na. Dapat yung format na gagawin natin sa pag-assess ng mga estudyante is dapat special design talaga ito siya na pwedeng makita rin ng mga parents or mga guardians yung kung ano yung naging overall performance ng bata at the end of the grading or sa SEM. So yun. The characteristic, so letter I na pala. So the characteristic listed on checklist must be specific and easily observable. So yun na. Dapat sa pagkakaroon natin or paggagawa natin ng observation report or checklist, observation dun sa mga estudyante natin is dapat hindi yung malawak yung ibibigay natin na explanation. Dapat specific na talaga. At dapat nakapoint din doon sa kung ano yung gusto nating ano yung layunin natin. So doon lang dapat naka-base. Hindi na tayo lalayo pa. The anecdotal comments may be recorded as teacher use or interpret checklist. So dito na sa letter J, yung anecdotal comments dapat dapat angkop sa talaga doon sa pagre-record natin. Or yung anecdotal comments may be used or may be recorded as teacher use or interpret checklist. So yun, next we have a checklist should not be used as report card. So ito na, yung checklist is hindi talaga dapat siyang magiging gagamitin natin as a report card kasi nga iba yung pagka-construct o yung sistema ng pagsusulat natin o pag-observe natin sa checklist observation, which is hindi siya formal, informal siya. So next we have observation report. So the following question are an answer about observation. So what is observation? So an observation is an informal visual assessment for student learning. So very self-explanatory naman siya, di ba? Observation, from the word observation, observe. I-observe natin talaga yung performance, yung the totality of students' capabilities in kung magbibigay tayo ng mga assessments. So number 2, what is the observation objective? So yung objective ng observation is to help teacher to see how a student is learning in order to check on effectiveness of instruction to find out if there is need to change. So yun na, very naman din siya. And number 3, what does a good observation accomplish? Provides immediate feedback about student learning. So yun yung nagiging accomplishment ng observation natin. Nagkakaroon tayo ng immediate feedback about sa student learning. So number 4, what is a good observation design? A rigorous observation is structured model for the visual assessment of every student over time, so that the student learning experience can be carefully documented. So yun na. Itong observation design na ginamin dito is, ito na yung structure model or yung visual assessment natin sa lahat ng mga estudyante natin over time. Sa time na nilaan natin sa pag-observe, which is carefully documented talaga ito siya. Hindi ito siya yung parang joke lang na na magawa-gawa lang tayo ng record. So hindi. Ito talaga is special design na mas ma-assess talaga natin at ma-record talaga natin yung ng bata, yung learning ng bata. So number 5, do you have to observe every student? So no. Ang answer doon is no. An observation can be focused on one student over time, or many students over time. An observation could use subset of sample of total number of students. So yun na, hindi talaga natin masasabi na lahat sa isang oras is ma-observe natin ang lahat ng estudyante. Kasi nga, isa naman tayo, as a teacher lang kasi tayo. So, yung observation natin is dapat merong tayong checklist, meron tayong specific time and yung days and week na ilaan para lahat is ma-observe. So, yun. Number 6, what are the 4 types of survey instruments? Ito yung self-administered questionnaires, interview, structured record review, and structured observation. Number 7, what is valid and reliable observation? Validity is established when instrument measures what it is supposed to measure. For example, content, skills, knowledge. So yun yung mga validity na ma-establish natin na pag-measure ng ng estudyante, yung learning ng estudyante through content, skills, and knowledge. Ang reliability naman is when the instrument measure that contents, skills, or knowledge accurately across student classes and schools at marami pang iba. So itong reliability naman ito siyang ang point lang dito niya is minimeasure niya yung content, yung skills and knowledge ng estudyante accurately. Itong validity is ito yung instrument na suppose na minimeasure natin. So yun yung kaiba ng dalawa. Sa number 8 naman, what type of result do you get with observations? So observation answer question of immediate worth. What does the student experience look like right now? Or what did one student do? What classroom outcome did you observe? What are the difference in opinion among students about? And what do most audience member think about? So ito yung mga questions na type of question na makakuha natin sa observation. So 'di ba maraming mga katanungan but magkakaroon tayo ng kasagutan if ma-assess natin ng mabuti yung mga estudyante natin. Kung ano yung mga feedback at yung learning na nakukuha nila sa pagbibigay natin ng mga topics and activities or tasks. Number 9. What is a good observation report? A short, concise document that both reveal and show the most important results. For example, audience survey of every 10 performance show an increase in understanding of the play and decrease frustration about the accent employed in the play. Or the survey shows that the student in the Shakespeare class have a little or no experience with Shakespeare when they start out with us. So ang point lang dito na yung good observation report natin is mas na-observe natin yung performance ng lahat ng mga estudyante at pinapakita at nakikita rin natin yung pag-increase ng learning and understanding na nila doon sa specific topic or lesson na binigay natin as a teacher at mabawasan yung kanilang frustration or yung kanilang mga katanungan sa isip na maaring masagot na dahil nga sa pagbibigay natin ng observation at yung feedback. Number 3, guidelines for practice. Guidelines for practice. Observation is like acting or directing or writing or any other complex skill set. It takes practice, continuous practice. So yung guidelines for practice dito ginamin na once na nag-observe na talaga tayo dun sa actual na task and performance dun sa school or sa classroom na ino-observe natin yung mga estudyante is dapat you need to stick to the guidelines in which dapat ma-maximize natin yung mga kung ano yung doon nakalagay o yung gusto nating ma-point out or ma-achieve sa at the end of the lesson. So it takes practice and continuous practice talaga yung pag-observe na para mas makita na talaga natin yung kung ano yung mga doon na performance na yun yung maging guide natin sa assessment and evaluation natin. So most importantly, an observer should have a sense of purpose and question or two that she is looking to answer in the observation. So yun talaga ang point ng observation na dapat may sense of purpose din tayo as a teacher na mag-observe na kung ano yung mga question in minds natin is dapat masagot talaga siya doon sa pamamagitan ng pag-observe natin sa kung ano yung binigay natin assessment and evaluation sa kanila, sa mga estudyante natin. So, this is particularly helpful where when boredom creep in. A good observation form can also be invaluable for keeping the observer on task. So yun na. Yun lang yung point doon na very important na dapat meron tayong sense of purpose sa pag-o-observe. Yun yung magiging guide natin for practice. So remember, description are factual, accurate, and thorough when taking notes. So yung pag gagawa natin or pag kakaroon natin ng checklist o yung report o yung observations, dapat naka-descriptive type siya, or descriptive are factual. Dapat exact at objective yung pagkaano natin pag describe or pag susulat natin ng mga observation natin. Hindi siya naka-base doon sa kung ano yung nakikita ng mata natin na subjectively. So objective mean to say yung performance talaga ng bata is ina-express niya, pinapakita niya. So yun. Take time to scan the room for activity more generally, and then focus for a few minutes on specific students or elements. Keeping track of the time can be helpful in your notes as well. So, yun talaga ang very important sa lahat na dapat sa pag-observe natin or pagbibigay natin ng observation report is take time talaga tayo as a teacher na makita lahat yung mga estudyante natin na either one at a time ma-observe natin sila specifically. So, yun. So, remember to observe period of informal interaction and plan activity. Breaks, free time, arrival, departure. So, yun. Importantly na ma-observe din natin kung kung ano yung mga activity, ano yung time na maano natin yung mga estudyante natin based doon sa task and performance na binigay natin sa kanila. So, pwede natin siya i-observe yung behavior ng estudyante in terms of yung time management nila, yung arrival nila, yung kung late ba sila na pupunta sa school. So, ganun. Dapat keeping track din natin yung mga ganong klaseng observation natin para ma-assess natin sila at mabigyan natin sila ng advice at kung ano pa yung gusto para ma-improve pa natin yung kanilang sarili na dapat on time talaga parati magpasok sa school. So, number 4, observation process. Observation, so we have number 1, preparation. So, preparation, prior to observing, meet with teaching staff to discuss residency and goals. Do not show up unannounced to observe a class. Particularly if you are the supervisor or employer of the teacher being observed. So dito sa preparation, ito yung main point, ito yung pinakapangunahing proseso na ma-achieve natin yung goal natin as a teacher, na ma-meet natin yung expectation natin. Sa preparation dapat prior na ma-observe natin or di kaya or as a supervisor or employer or as a teacher, yung mga kasamahan natin sa teaching staff is dapat i-discuss natin kung ano yung goals natin, yung purpose natin sa pag-observe, especially sa mga estudyante. Yun. And then, yung goal natin or the goal of observation is to capture the data on students' learning as much as possible to enhance that learning. So, yung goal talaga natin sa pag-observe o pagbibigay ng observation report is to capture the data. I-capture natin kung ano yung performance ng bata in terms of pagbibigay natin ng mga different tasks, different activities, at marami pang iba na as much as possible talaga. Na kung saan yun magiging basis natin at yun yung magiging way natin na para mas ma-improve pa natin sila at ma-assess natin kung ano yung mga issues and concern nila. So, gather as much of the demographic information as possible. So, yun. Doon sa observation process, sa preparation, meron talagang syempre yung name of observer, name of teacher observed, school, center, organization where class took place. Yun yung mga important details na kailangan natin sa preparation of observation report or observation process. Number 2, sample observation prompts. When observing a classroom, it can be helpful to have a list of behavior as a reference. These prompts can be generated based on a specific residency and are often applicable to multiple situations. So the following are examples of behavior associated with student engagement. Depending on the objective of the lesson, so the following list might be prioritized or shortened. So students seem to, letter A, following direction or follow direction. So talaga rin ang importante sa lahat na dapat is ano natin yung instruction o yung direction na para hindi tayo mamali sa binigay ng mga tasks and activities. And letter B, sustain focus on tasks. So dapat maging consistent ka at focus ka sa binigay na task para hindi ka mawala or hindi ka mamali doon sa binigay na activity na yun. Letter C, join group to create and integrate ideas. So ito, dapat you need also na mag-join ka ng mga different groups, organization and clubs na magkaroon kayo ng cooperative work or yung interaction and communication na magbe-brainstorming kayo ng mga different ideas nyo. Letter D, respect giving and receiving ideas. So once you have committed na mag-join ng mga different groups and organization or clubs, so respect din natin yung mga ideas ng ibang tao na kasi nga as a individual meron tayong kanya-kanyang mga ideas kasi. So letter E, respect other student and their ideas. So connected din sila sa letter D. So letter F, participate in large group work. So yun na, you need also to participate na para mas ma-enhance yung skills, capabilities natin and mas madagdagan pa yung experience natin as individual. So letter G, participate in small group work. So kung nagpa-participate ka sa mga large group work, so pwede ka rin mag-participate sa mga small group work. So yun lang yung point doon. Letter H, practice what they are learning. So once na nag-join ka ng mga different groups, organization, kung ano yung natutunan mo doon is pwede mo nang i-apply sa sarili mo or pwede mong i-practice sa community nyo. So yun. O i-share mo yung mga knowledge and understanding mo o yung skills mo. Letter I, willingly volunteer for activities. So once meron ka ng knowledge na very applicable siya sa lahat, pwede kang magiging volunteer na mag-initiate ng mga programs and activities na maaring makatutulong sa lahat. Letter J, ask relevant question and prompt thoughtful discussion. So as a teacher or as a student, di ba meron talaga tayong mga question sa isip natin na hindi masagot-sagot. So wag kang mahiya magtanong sa mga ganoon para ma-address or mabigyan ng malinaw na kasagutan yung mga question na yun. So letter K, make connection with previous learning. So itong mga past experiences mo, yung mga past learning mo na pwede mo siyang mai-connect doon sa mga mo ngayon, sa nalalaman mo ngayon. So make connection with previous learning. Kung ano yung nalalaman mo, i-connect mo lang at makabuo ka ng bagong perspective at ideas. Letter L, use theater vocabulary. Letter M, produce quality outcome and complete tasks. And letter N, participate in reflection. So number 3, inventory. An inventory of student learning style can build self-esteem by helping them discover their strength, learning about areas in which they might need to make more efforts, and appreciate the difference among themselves. So dito, as a teacher ko, magbibigay na tayo ng assessments and observations sa mga estudyante natin is through feedback na sasabihan sila sa kung ano yung mga weaknesses nila at yung mga strength nila na at most especially yung weaknesses nila na yun yung i-build up nila na mas ma-overcome nila ganong issues na yun. So through assessment and evaluation, yung feedback na binigay natin as a teacher, yun yung magiging way na ma-build up yung self-esteem nila as a students and by helping them to discover their strength. So sa pamamagitan ng mga assessments na binigay natin at evaluation sa kanila is ma-build up talaga yung sarili nila na mas marami pa silang matutunan at ma-enhance yung kanilang mga skills and capabilities. So, and then learn more about when they might need to make more efforts and appreciate difference among themselves. So number 4, portfolio. A collection of student-produced material provided over an extended period of time that allow a teacher to evaluate student growth and overall learning progress during that period of time. So very self-explanatory naman itong portfolio kasi very common ito siya, ginagamit natin ito siya or ina-apply natin ito siya as magiging guide natin or yung assessment natin sa overall learning progress ng bata. So ito yung organizational structure that may help teacher to use to accumulate and organize student assessment information. Kasi nga ito na yung overall learning progress ng bata. Kasi nandito na lahat yung mga copies of assignments, assessment of presentation, yung mga performance of skill and processes, yung quizzes, tests, at marami pang iba. So nandoon na kasi lahat sa portfolio, na-compile na siya lahat. So kaya siya tinatawag na collection of student-produced material. So very self-explanatory naman siya.